Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and this little video is to give you some quick information about the difference between commercially raised, organically raised, and wild-crafted herbs, and why you should pay attention to your source of herbs and where you get them. So let's start with commercial. Now, commercially raised herbs are basically sprayed with chemical fertilizer, herbicides, and pesticides. Now, these might produce big, beautiful, plump, juicy plants. But the problem is that all those plants that are sprayed with all those things to make them big, make them healthy, and to keep the pests away are absorbed into the plant. So the leaves and the stems and the flowers and the roots, they get all these chemicals that are unnatural for us, and the plant absorbs them, which in turn, when you take them, your body absorbs them. Now, in this world where we are just covered in toxins like in our food, in our air, in our sleeping, living environments where there's the internet and the Wi-Fi, our body already has a pretty good toxic load going on. And the last thing that we really need to do is to add to the stuff that we can't control to a certain point and give ourselves herbs, especially medicinal herbs that are supposed to help us get well, be healthy. A lot of times we take these to clear up some gnarly issues that we get as humans. So commercially raised herbs should be stayed away from completely. That is something that if you're going to take the time and the money and the knowledge and everything that you're going to learn and put it into using herbs, then I would really suggest that you stay away from commercially grown herbs because they're just not good for you. Now, organically raised herbs are basically pampered plants. Now, that is not a bad thing completely. They're given the water that they need, as much as they need. They're getting non-chemical fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides. There is one thing to kind of look out for because sometimes they're fumigated and they are irradiated, and sometimes they're GMO, they're genetically modified, and they can still call themselves organic. So you want not only to look for organic sourcing, but you want to look for non-GMO if you can, because that's important too. Now the final one is wildcrafted. Now wildcrafted means basically you go out into Mother Nature and you collect something. Let's take a dandelion. Now a lot of people don't eat the dandelions that are in their yard or that they're along the side of the road, which is not the best place to wildcraft dandelions because you want something that's out away from human exhaust and human uh, environmental things that we as humans do to the environment. But wildcrafted usually means that what it has to do is the plant has to struggle. And that is can be a problem with pampered organic herbs, is they don't have to struggle. In fact, I have a friend of mine who owns a company called Dry Farm Wines, and him and his partner, they go all over the world and they source wine that's organic and dry farmed. Because what happens is you have a plant that grows in Mother Nature, they basically have to take the water when it rains, and if there's a drought season, then they basically have to grow deeper root systems. They have to go deeper into the soil to get water, to get nutrients, and it makes for richer, a lot of times more potent plants and herbs, and actually better. The quality is usually better. The taste is different and better, and it's better for our bodies too. So that can be a problem with organically raised herbs, is that they're basically just pampered. And it's not saying that they're not good for you. They're definitely more healthy for you than commercial. But you want to make sure that there is a fine line between organic and wildcrafted. Now there is one thing that I will tell you, and this is again where you want to make sure that you know the company that you're buying from, because a lot of big companies might slap an organic certification on their bottle, but sometimes you might not be able to get a really good source of an organically grown herb, and you might need to use a wildcrafted herb of the same thing. If you can't get an organic ginkgo, but you can get a really good wildcrafted ginkgo, then there can be a big difference here. Now the thing to know is this: on our labels, because we are still a small company, we don't put organic certified, and here's why. We can't always get it. We can't always get organic, and sometimes we can't always get wildcrafted. So we do use a combination of both. We never use chemically produced herbs. So that is one important thing to know. So all of these factors are just really super important things for you as a consumer to be aware of. And don't be afraid to call up or contact by email any company that you buy supplements from that you love their products. And you might want to even do a little deeper research and just make sure that you feel good about it. Now, one thing that I truly love about wildcrafting is that there's a lot of love that goes into wildcrafting, because if you think about it, we are all energetically connected. Human beings living, plants are living, animals, we're all living, breathing, growing on this one planet. And if you think we're separate, think again, we're not. We're all energetically connected. So when things are made with love, when they're made and harvested with respect and treated well, and I'm talking about plants, you get the energy of that in a final product. And that to me is very important. It makes the medicinal properties of the plant work the way they're supposed to. So I hope this covered some information just quickly that kind of give you a little bit of a difference between the commercial, the organic, and the wild crafted, because there is a nice difference between all of those. So if there was any questions you guys had, please let me know, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.